Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll tell a tale of nightclubs and daring adventures, starting with a girl who drank a mystery drink. Little did she know she was about to ruin everything, and when she finally woke up, she found herself in a hotel bed. She couldn't remember a thing from last night, but the pounding headache was definitely a bad sign. Without a second thought, she dashed out of her room, only to find the living room looking like a tornado had hit. The bathroom looked like it had hosted a party, yet oddly enough, her personal belongings were still there. But her party buddy from last night had vanished without a trace. Seeing bloodstains covered by a towel made her heart race. She hastily called her friend, only to be shocked that the phone was straight to voicemail. Panicking, she called her husband to seek help, spilling all the wild details from the night before. But her husband, ever the optimist, thought she was overreacting, certain her friend was just out living it up. He even told her to hop on the next flight home, saying her friend would return once the fun was over, no need to panic. Realizing her husband just didn't get it, she pretended to agree, but deep down, she wasn't about to bail out. That nagging feeling pushed her to knock on her landlord's door, hoping for some answers. Subtitles: the landlord not only failed to offer help, but also blamed her for bringing a stranger back to the apartment. She was completely stunned. All she recalled was riding to the nightclub with her friend, having one drink, then crashing out. She shivered at the thought of a stranger being there and rushed to the police, her friend's safety now weighing heavily on her. Handing over her friend's picture to the officer, she recounted everything from last night, desperately seeking help. Strangely, the officer showed no sympathy, treating her story like last week's news. Not only didn't he investigate, but suggested she check the hospital, thinking her friend might be there. After that absurd suggestion, she felt utterly defeated until she caught sight of pictures of other missing girls, and her heart sank. Everything felt off, so she called the taxi driver from last night and, with his help, returned to the bar. The driver laid out the seriousness of the situation to the bar owner, who informed them of two notorious troublemakers. These guys targeted unsuspecting female tourists and were known to hang out at a nearby cafe every afternoon. No wonder she blacked out after just one drink. Those two shady characters were definitely involved, and her friend's disappearance had to be linked to them. The next day, she called on the driver to help her track down those two at the cafe. Before she could say a word, the two goons saw her and bolted like they'd seen a ghost. Thankfully, the driver, with remarkable skills, swiftly cornered one of them against the wall, and after a round of intense questioning, the truth finally came out. Turns out, after messing with her at the bar, they pretended to help her friend home while secretly swiping her wallet and phone. They were just after her cash. No need to escalate things with a kidnapping. Her friend's whereabouts were not their concern, and that felt very ominous. They bolted to a spot the guy mentioned and, surprisingly, found some of her friend's stuff there, making her wonder if the two were truly innocent. But where on earth had the living person gone? The woman felt completely at a loss. With no other viable alternatives available, the woman had no choice but to take her best friend's wallet to the police station, hoping to demonstrate that she was definitely in some kind of trouble, only to unexpectedly find out that careless officer hadn't even filed her report. Now the female chief was taking over. After a medical check, it turned out she was in the clear without any harm, and the police claimed the case was closed. Despite the good news, her suspicions lingered as she returned to the hotel, only to hear strange noises as she entered. To her shock, the landlord was inside, cleaning out her friend's room. It was rented out to someone else. The landlord's eccentric actions filled her heart with doubt. What secrets lay hidden behind that peculiar door? Could it possibly be connected to her best friend's disappearance? Just when she thought she could relax a bit, she grabbed her friend's phone, only to find it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. Feeling down and in need of some fresh air, suddenly, out of nowhere, her husband showed up like a superhero. Seeing him there, she couldn't help but cry, spilling all her worries and fears to him. They calmly worked together to contemplate possible clues, and just when it seemed everything was progressing in a positive direction they never expected, the worst fear came true when the coroner preliminarily declared her friend had drowned. The police asked her to stay and assist with the investigation while her husband needed to head home. Everything made sense, but she still had doubts. She always believed that the police were concealing something. It was absolutely impossible for someone to drown so carelessly. So, after seeing her husband off the next day, she pretended she wanted to see her best friend for one last time. She snuck back to the storage room, using the officer's distraction to unlock her friend's phone. What she saw on the phone left her in shock, an endless stream of flirty messages from her husband. Her friend had kept quiet, wanting to protect her marriage, and now she realized her friend had come out that night to expose the truth. Subtitle: No wonder she always had heated phone calls in secret. Instead of uncovering any clues, she ended up seeing her husband's true colors. Furious, she made a call to her husband, demanding to know why he treated her this way. Confronted with the evidence, her husband could only sheepishly admit it, but still tried to play it off as just a little fun. He insisted he loved her, but she felt the weight of betrayal in both body and soul. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.